Good morning, everybody. CrazyJuan coming back at you, and it's time for another one of our retro recommendation recaps. Today we're going to delve back into River City Ransom on the Nintendo Entertainment System, circa January 1990 in North America. Was developed and published by Technos Japan, who was originally founded in 1981 by three former Data East members. The game was actually originally published and distributed via Data East, who's famous for Karate Champ. Technos is famous for Renegade, Double Dragon, Super Dodgeball, and Super Spike Volleyball, and of course, River City Ransom. They eventually went bankrupt in 1996, and their IPs were bought by the licensing company Million Company Limited. This game is in the Kunio-kun series of games, which includes the Renegade, Super Dodgeball, Super Spike Ball, and features that kind of distinct character style that I really like. I think that the kind of cutesy brawler here is really quite iconic. The gameplay is a side-scrolling beat-em-up action RPG, which is a pretty big mouthful for 1990, and it's similar in a way to Double Dragon with the 2.5D playing field and the brawling. Was single player and multiplayer. You could have two second player, the cousin character Ryan, I think it was, to Alex. There was friendly fire, so you had to be a little careful with throwing items around and or kicks or punches, because you could beat up your buddy. That often for me and my cousins devolved into just us brawling, but it was a nice element to have in the game. The story is pretty basic. There's a kidnapped girlfriend from one of the boss dudes in the school, and you fight through rival gangs to get information on where they are and where she's being held and where the boss is to rescue the girlfriend. Combat's pretty straightforward. Punch, kick, throw weapons and objects. You can throw people if they've been knocked down, and there's upgrades to that as well. You'll face different gangs, like the generic dudes, the frat guys, the jocks, the squids, and they each have their own characteristics and abilities. Some of them are more aggressive, some of them are more timid, other ones have more hit points or are better at blocking your attacks. There are mini-bosses throughout the game that are little difficulty spikes. And here we see the shopping and the menu. One of the kind of cool RPG elements of the game is, if you're hurt, you can stop by, get some food, and heal yourself up. But not only does it heal you, it also adds to your stats, like your kick power or punch power or block. Here's Roxy giving us some information. That's Slick's girl, so she's feeling bad for the situation and coming to help out. As you purchase items, you can learn techniques, rapid fire punches and kicks, or rapid throw attacks, or I should say rapid weapon attacks. Also, there's items that can add to your power, like if you're wearing Texas boots, you will kick harder. The game has a death penalty, which is losing half your funds if you die, so that was something to watch out for, because your funds are how you get your upgrades. There's no experience for leveling, I don't believe so. So it's all in the eating of things and the buying of items. And here we're beating up on a pair of the twins, a pair of the mini bosses. They're pretty tough, but if you can get the drop and keep them on the ropes, you can take them out at a pretty low level, and you have to work a bit to beat them each. But they're pretty good money for starting. So if you're playing through, this is one of your first places, kind of bank up some cash, do some farming. The game was originally received very well in Japan, but not so much outside of Japan. It was, didn't get a lot of love, but it's now considered a kind of a cult classic. The Japanese magazine Famitsu gave it a 28 of 40 and called it a fighting game that skillfully incorporates RPG elements. Here we are buying one of the books to get new techniques. And I love the little animations too, with the purchasing things and the big smile for the waitresses and such like that. The Japanese, the French magazine Player One said it was not to be missed and gave it a 93%. The British TV show Games Master, though, did not like it. Said they would rather sit in a vat of horse manure and give it to your worst enemies. Gave it a 32% in what may have been the earliest case of media bias. I'm kidding. Retrospectives more recently, view it a little better. IGN gives it a 9 out of 10. It's a classic cult-followed NES brawler, still as deep and engaging as it was in the 8-bit era, which I pretty much agree with. It's a lovely game. It's got some depth. Two-player element's nice. It's totally worthwhile. Games Radar calls it the 7th best NES game ever made. That's pretty high up there. There's a lot of really good classic NES games, so that's some high praise. Here we see the rapid fire kicking from the dragon feet technique that the book I purchased has. And then after this fight, I basically had to include for the retro rec the health club excuse me, vendor, because you can go in and purchase a nice stay in the sauna and get some health back and some stats. And you have some bare ass on the Nintendo, which is a pretty rare thing. But yeah, I love this game. Can't recommend it enough, and that's why I made my second ever retro recommendation. Peace out.